Our next segment is our Bookstr segment. Bookstr is a website for book lovers and much more.
This week, we're excited to be joined by twin doctors, Dr. Jamil Abdul-Rahman and Dr. Idris Abdul-Rahman, also known as the twin doctors. They have a new book out called Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Pregnancy, but We're Too Afraid or Embarrassed to Ask.
Listen, and we are seeing double. Welcome.
I see double.
Thank you. Yes, we're so excited to talk to you guys. So tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, basically, we've been doing this for 16 years now. I'm dating myself at about 16 years. And, and my wife and I, we got 5 kids. He's got 3.
Oh,
and
we were his work very seriously.
I see. And so we started young. And so, you hear all the good things about having a baby. It's a great experience, don't get me wrong. But you don't hear the bad things, and people are afraid to kind of talk about the bad things because they think, am I a bad mom? Am I a bad dad? Why am I complaining? Nobody else does. Between that and then just working with patients and hearing those questions they ask behind closed doors, I was like, we got to put a book out there that breaks it all down so people know this is what's going to happen. But it's okay. Like,
so what are some of those top questions? Right, you will make it. You will live. What are some of those top questions that people are asking?
They range from physical changes that occur during pregnancy that some people find a little embarrassing to ask their friends or their partners, or even their doctors. So we just wanted to break it all down. Like, these are okay. It happens. Talk about it, and you can get through it. The things you can do. So.
Now, is there anything that you learned about the process in writing the book that you didn't learn in your practices?
Oh, she's trying to show us up like, is there something? See, I'm gonna sound like a butt. I'm like, I knew it all, but I can't think of anything that
because I think a lot of what we were writing about was
what we do every day.
Well, not only what we do every day, but things that we encounter, but most patients don't want to talk to us about. Yeah. So I don't know that we found anything surprising, but I think we found people's response to the stuff we've written surprising. A lot of people have said, like, you know what? I'm glad you touched on this. This was something that I wondered about but didn't want to ask about, and so I found that to be surprising. But pretty much what we wrote about is more or less what we do every day.
Love it. Let's talk about the writing process. So both Crystal and I were authors. My book was just released in April, and
congratulations.
And that process was just crazy. And it was just me. I couldn't imagine having a twin and somebody else trying to write and add to the book. How did it work? Did you take different chapters? Did you say, I'll write, you edit? How did twins do it?
It was kind of a little bit of both, we kind of wrote the outline together, like what we're going to cover. And then there are certain things that I kind of have more of an affinity for, certain things he has more of an affinity for, and we kind of just came together and did the editing. Luckily, my wife is a bookie and she loves to edit, so I was kind of like, here you go, honey, 600 pages. So it was a joint effort, but we got it done. But we get along well, so it wasn't too bad.
Plus, we read each other's minds, so
minds. But it's interesting. I think it's awesome that you both went into the same profession. You guys kind of complete each other's sentences. What was life like growing up in Chicago? You two as twins. What was that?
I'll tell you. It sounds funny, but I tell people we've always been twins, so we don't have any frame of comparison. But I can tell you, I was a twin. But I can tell you, it was awesome because you've got somebody who's truly like your other half. Sounds cliche, right? But you've got a built-in best friend. You've got somebody who's gone through everything you've gone through, and it's funny. We were talking recently. He's known his wife. Well, we've known his wife since we were literally 2 or 3 years old. A little weird to me.
Yeah, that's a show for another time, right?
They were play buddies. Oh my God!
But she said, growing up, you guys were the strange kids. I'm like, I didn't know that. We just found that out. But she said because we used to stay together so much, and we almost had like our own little language, and so. But yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah.
Wow,
fantastic. So, did you all have? When did you know you had an appetite for medicine? And did it happen at the same time?
So this is the thing.
Did you say, I want to be a doctor? Me too. Me too.
I heard you.
I kind of followed his lead on this one, actually.
So the weird thing is that both of us love aviation. Like aviation and travel are like our number one passion, And so we wanted to be pilots, And our mom would take us to the airport back in the day before there was TSA and go to the gate and all that. And then when I was like 18, I was like, because I was kind of dating my wife. We kind of broke and we got back together. Whatever. Long story. Another show. But and she was like, I don't want to date somebody or be married to somebody that's never going to be home like a pilot. So I was like, okay, I'll go to medicine. Little dad jokes on you. I'm on call all the time now. But and so when I was starting college, I said I really like medicine. I like the human body. I like the idea of helping people. So I wanted to go into medicine. And so he was going to go into social work.
So I was going to be a social worker, and then we're literally registering. Yeah, we're literally registering. I have an affinity to help, but we're literally registering, and he was before me because I before Jay. And so she said, your brother's doing pre-med and you're doing pre-social work. She said, that's great, but he's going to make so much money, so much more money than you do. And I said, you know what? is. I was like, pre-med, you know?
It's so fun.
That was it. And
This really happened.
Yeah, that's how it happened, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I saw you guys, I don't know if people knew this, I saw you on your Ancestry.com commercial.
Oh, yeah.
What was it like filming that? And did you take the test and did you learn something?
We did.
New?
So kind of like folklore in our family, because obviously being African American, we can't trace ourselves all the way back. But the folklore has always been that the Adams family, like the President Adams, not the that they're
For a second, I thought,
so they're in our bloodline. So that's really, I was like, I gotta see if I can prove this, And so we told the Ancestry people that, and they tried to find it, but I guess they couldn't. And probably.
But we did take the test, and we went all the way back on one side of our family to like 1780.
Like 70 something. Yeah.
Well, were there other twins?
that was good.
Yes, there are other twins.
Our cousins.
Yeah, I was going to say we have two sets of cousins who are twins, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mom's side or dad's side?
Dad's side.
Dad's side.
Yeah.
Do you guys have twins?
No, actually, that's the thing. My wife wants to have one more kid. I'm 41. I'm about to be 42. I told her we're rolling the dice, and I said if we have twins, I'm going to catch up with Miss I'm not trying to do that.
Oh my gosh. You guys are certainly fit. Of course, you're doctors, you're fit. This amazing race stardom you all had as well. You're everywhere. So what was that like being on The Amazing Race? I love the show.
The Amazing Race, it was awesome, but it was also probably the most depressing, I swear to God, most depressing moment of my life, because we wanted to be on it for so long. We got on it.
And it's such a process to get on,
And we flamed out because of our fear of water, which we knew we had going ahead. And so we actually took swimming lessons.
But the thing was, we actually did the challenge. We were a little slower because we didn't like the water. We got it done, They didn't show. It was just so depressing. Like, for months, I was like, I was supposed to win that. I would dream about it. Yes. I was like,
Wow.
Oh my
it was
God.
fun. It was call me
so
back.
fun.
Call me back.
Amazing. Well, you guys need your own show.
I do have the Twin Doctor TV. Yes.
For sure. Well, guys.
Thank you so much, guys,
thanks for
for
having
being here.
us.
You're so much fun. And rather than say your name again, I'm going to say Dr. J and Dr.
There you go.
AI. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for coming and joining us. You're so much fun.
Yes.